Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to Utility Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about Danielle Hunter and the Minnesota Vikings. Sounds like they are working on a contract extension or a rework deal at this point. We don't exactly have all the information, so we're going to be talking about that in this video. I'm expecting it to come in while I'm recording it. So let's talk about what Ian Rapoport is reporting. He says, win-win here. The Minnesota Vikings and pass rusher Danielle Hunter have agreed to terms on a rework deal, according to sources. Hunter gets significant money moved up in his contract, while Minnesota gets one of its stars to report a solid conclusion for all sides in an ongoing saga, rather. And that's a big deal here for the Minnesota Vikings. We'll break down my thoughts on this as we get some news. Before we jump into my thoughts, though, hit that subscribe button if you are new to Utility Sports. It means so much to us to have your support. We're up over 3,000 subscribers. It's been a crazy journey, going about half a year now strong, posting a video basically every single day on the channel. So make sure you guys check out some of our other content as well if you are new. And this is big time here for Danielle Hunter. He's been an absolute force in the 78 games he's played for the Minnesota Vikings. A two-time Pro Bowler, was owed about $11 or $12 million this year. And honestly, he's worth a lot more than that. You see some of the other deals that some edges around the league get. And Danielle Hunter is one of the premier edge rushers in the NFL, so it's very big that he gets that extension. In 2018, he had 14.5 sacks. 2019, he had 14.5 sacks. In 5 years that he's played, he's had over 54.5 sacks. He's been extremely productive. Of course, didn't play in 2020 due to injury, but he's been a beast, both in the pass rush scenario and in the run game. One of the top edges, and is well worth a new deal. Let's go back to Ian Rapoport's Twitter here and see if there's anything else that he is posting about. Okay, so now here's the breakdown. Danielle Hunter gets $5.5 million of this year's money due as a signing bonus. More importantly, there is now an $18 million roster bonus the fifth day of the league year in 2022. Wow, okay, so he'll make a lot of money in 2022, at least $20 million, or he'll be released or have a new deal at that point. This gives a lot more pressure and leverage for Danielle Hunter onto the Minnesota Vikings, because they'll have to make a decision with him with how much money is due to him. Of course, they're also paying Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook got a big contract. Adam Thielen's still making over $9 million a year. They've got a lot of good players who are making quite a bit of money. It's kind of limited what they could do with this roster. We've seen some of the parts of the cornerback position getting a little hurt, but they've got a very loaded team. I really like what they did on the interior of that D-line. Danielle Hunter, probably they're one of their top 5 players on this team. Actually, not probably. He is for sure one of their top 5 players. Probably a top 3 player on this team. You need to have him around. Their pass rush, a very big part of what they like to do. They like to control the line of scrimmage in Mike Zimmer's defense. And Danielle Hunter is a key aspect to that. They didn't have Michael Pierce last year. They also brought in a D tackle from New York in free agency in Tomlinson. They've got an extremely talented defensive line now. It's going to be all about getting Danielle Hunter back healthy. Adding his presence back onto that pass rush is going to be huge. They're going to be a lot better against the run. This Minnesota Vikings defense is going to be much improved. I expect them to be a playoff team this next year. Yet again, I think that they're going to do a lot of good things this next season. Kirk Cousins, I think, is underrated. And I think Danielle Hunter is an absolute beast. The Minnesota Vikings have to be happy here, getting Danielle Hunter to come back to camp. You want your star players to be happy with the organization, and this is a big move for that. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is a smart move for the Minnesota Vikings, and how many wins in a 17-game season will the Minnesota Vikings get this next year? My guess, in 17 games, probably could see them go 11-6 or 12-5, to be completely honest with you. Green Bay's up in question marks. Chicago, I think, is going through a little bit of a rebuild here around Justin Fields, and the Detroit Lions are a total mess at this point. I think it's an easy division for this upcoming season. I think that the Vikings are going to be a very, very tough team. I could see them or the Packers winning the division, depending on what Aaron Rodgers does. Danielle Hunter, a great, great player, and he gets a good payday here from Minnesota. Again, let me know in the comments, how many wins will the Vikings get this next season? Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like the video if you did. It means a lot to us here at Utility Sports, and we'll catch you in the very next video.